Number 5. Zombie Jason from Friday the 13th Part 6. Jason Lives. Ah yes, my favorite film in the series and the birth of the iconic zombie version of Jason Voorhees, buried in the ground for years and years after the events of Final Chapter, only to be resurrected by Tommy Jarvis being a fucking idiot by digging him up in the first place, and starting an entirely new era of Voorhees killings in the Crystal Lake area. Killings that would never have taken place if Tommy had just left him buried in the first place. But I digress. On with the smell. Since this Jason has been dead for a long while, and he's pretty much a mummified skeleton by the time he wakes up again, beyond some maggots that are for some reason buried in his coffin with him and eating his long since dead flesh, I'd say this Jason is probably somewhat of an upgrade from the smell of the previous iterations. The smell of bad body odor is probably gone. I'm sure the human shit problem has been resolved by time. So with that said, I think I'm, to the surprise of many of you, I'm sure, going to award this Jason with a solid stink of 4.8. With some pretty potent whiffs of wet dirt, some heavily mildewed clothing, and some vague, subtle hints of old decomposition. You know, that smell of something rotting that is pretty much done rotting but still sort of has a tiny bit of that dissipating stink left? Yeah, that. He seems much more dried out and sort of done rotting than he is in the following movies beyond Jason Lives. So I think the dominant smell of mildew and dirt for Jason Lives Jason calls for a solid 4.8.